Meteor.
That's what you meant. I'm breaking my Greek Orthodox Christmas hymns tonight.
Tonight, will you make me the host with the most? Babe.
Weird.
The ghost with the most, babe.
Recording in progress.
Yes, it is. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Improperly Packaged, a show where we unbox topics related to movies, TV, games, whatever. I'm Jordan. With me is Luke. How you doing, Luke?
Good. My throat's
you
hurting
are
from what I was doing.
in a state. I don't know what you're doing. You like wiped your one side of your face. You're like, ugh.
It brought some tears. Tears. I put my all into that joke.
Oh, good. Have you heard anything about what's happening with the Snow White movie and how people are upset?
No.
You know what? Scratch that. I don't know if anyone's upset. I don't know.
You're upset.
Well, so it's Peter Dinklage. I think he was offered to play one of the dwarfs in the Seven Dwarfs.
Right.
And he was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" or whatever. And then like he said something about it, and then Disney's like, "We're rethinking it. We're rethinking what we're gonna do." And I'm over
Why
here.
was he
and I'm
mad
like,
about that? I don't understand.
He's beyond, I think, playing like a dwarf kind of role, or like, you know, that sort of role that used to be specifically
But he
only.
fits it. Like, I don't, this bothers me in the past. Like, I understand being typecast can be annoying. I can understand that. But honestly, like, any good actor, okay, to me, there's like two things. There's either you just don't want to do it, which is fine. It's like, you're yourself, so you can make that choice. I get that.
Right.
But then there's like, sometimes you don't do exactly what you want and you make it your own and you make it something unique. And sometimes you can make it something that people celebrate because of what you did. And to me, that's how every actor should approach something. It's like, if I just don't want to do it, then I'll just move on. But if I am at least somewhat interested, what can I bring to this? That would be,
yeah.
That would just be something I would think with that.
He's a good enough actor. He can do whatever he wants. But my thing is,
But
why are they
cool.
making another Snow White movie at all?
Why are they making any more of these Disney live action movies?
I know. I'm sick of it.
They've been a disaster like nearly every time.
I've liked 2.5, but I still don't think they should exist, really. I mean, even if I like it, I'm like, but most of them are really bad, and I am sick of
Jungle Book.
Yeah, I like Jungle Book. You know what? And I like Aladdin. And if you want to count Cruella, which I don't, because it has so little to do with the source material. But yeah, no, they're and they're in the Snow White more than any of them. More than any of them. At least with like Mulan, I guess you could say, oh, there hasn't really been a live action version. There's been like 70 live action Snow Whites. And so I'm like, why?
The tale as old as time, as they say.
It really is. Just please stop. Don't stop. Let that be your sign to be like, okay, maybe we don't do this at all. We're
in this place where I feel like these companies are finally going to realize like you can only get so much out of your intellectual property before it's time to start investing in new stuff.
Right.
Whether it's video games, movies, or TV. All our three main topics. It's like all those. Yeah, actually, I'll be talking about one of those types of things here in a little bit.
The funny thing is like the live action. The live action with Disney is where it's really getting it hard. Just getting punched in the tummy because like the animated stuff, it's like, okay, yeah, they're doing like Encanto and Luca and Soul and a bunch of original stuff, but it's the live action stuff where it's like, oh, let's just do what we did in animation, but live action. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest straight away.
I got you.
You got me.
We're agreed here.
Are we clear? All right, let's go. Let's
everybody understand this now. Good.
Good.
I don't think there needs to be any more discussion about this. I've made my point clear.
I think it's been cleared up. Let's do some watching / playing / listening to, Luke. We're finally gonna get the episode that we've been promising for a couple of weeks. So let's do the preliminaries.
What have we been promising?
Year. What's going to happen this year?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I yeah.
Forgot we talked about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Probably what everyone else did too. It's
You're right.
fine.
You're right. What have you been listening to? I think I went first last time.
Not too much, man. I mean, other than obviously Meteora, the Orthodox Greek Orthodox Christmas.
That's right.
Of course. I mean,
Beautiful cover to the album.
oh, very beautiful cover.
Place. But
you know.
Not so much my kind of music, maybe music of the old world.
I mean, 25,000 people. Someone.
Well, or one person 25,000 times.
Nothing too much, man. I have been some reason I've just been on a Rocket Summer kick. I haven't talked about them too much in the pod, but Rocket Summer, old pastime of ours.
You're a big fan.
I'm a big fan. Great stuff. I've been just kind of listening to the Rocket Summer. I don't have a single song or anything like that. I've just been kind of going through his albums, some of his EPs, and just kind of being like, oh yeah, I love the Rocket Summer. So if you haven't listened to that, check that out. Probably, where do you start with the Rocket Summer? Jordan, look at all these albums here. Where do I start?
Good.
Of Men and Angels. That's probably my recommended place to start at. That's a good starting point. Then go around.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke? What have you been listening to?
So good. Now I'm thinking about the Rocket Summer.
Oh, I got you.
Second that. Everybody go listen to that. Luca Fogel. You're the one. Definitely recommend this song. It's really good. Another one of those Discover Weekly picks. So
good old Discover
Weekly.
Discovery Weekly.
It's like a good Discovery Weekly.
As we call them, the old Discovery Weekly.
As everyone knows, Jordan is very Irish. I took a class this when was it? This past weekend, and I met a gentleman from Ireland during the class, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love meeting people from, I mean, anywhere, but especially like, I don't know. I have a special thing for like Australian accents, Irish accents, Scottish accents. It's just, and British. It's just, I don't know. I just think their accents are so cool and it's easy for me to imitate. And I love it.
I have a question.
It's so cool.
Whenever you, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this without it sounding horrible in one way or the other. Whenever you encounter someone who has like one of those awesome accents,
yeah,
and like, are you ever surprised at the circumstances in which you're meeting them? Anytime I run into
pretty much always
like someone who's British or something like that, I always think, oh man,
even at Disney, which is like all the time, I'm still like, whoa, that's cool. Those people are British. I can tell.
But when you do, okay, so for instance, I ran into someone who has amazing British accent. I was like, wow, you sound amazing. This is so, it's like you sound so smart, and all the stuff that people say about people who have British accents, all that stuff. Yeah. And where I met him, whatever, he was at Publix. He was the bag boy, not like a young kid. And I was like, I feel like this is beneath.
Used to be like, I think there used to be an Australian guy that worked at the like Publix closest to me.
Yeah, and you're like, what are you doing here? You feel like, I don't know, as if like you came directly from that country in order to do something. That's such a stupid frame of mind, but for some reason,
I think that they're somehow like cooler because of it. And
yeah.
Like, why are you here?
This is beneath you. You have a British accent. It doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, they probably think the same thing. It's like, oh, are you American? You from the States? They probably think the same thing when we're there.
I don't know.
That's cool.
They might think we all work at gas stations. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to be in the United States. So,
but do they think we sound cool?
Yeah. Well, I think everybody thinks people who sound different than them sound
right. That's true.
Unique, at least. Maybe not cool, but at least unique.
It's like so much of the media, like the movies and games, all the stuff they consume. So many of those people have American accents. Like, there's not very many British Avengers. I don't think there's any. British Avengers.
British entertainment. So, and there's so many British actors and stuff.
Unless you're talking about the old British TV show called The Avengers. That's not The Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, Luke. Lucas Vogel.
Luca, but yeah, basically.
I apologize.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So listen to him.
Here's the obligatory 5-second clip that I can play. Oh, turn it off. Up. Okay.
I feel like most of the stuff I recommend is pretty low, like small, low key.
You don't know who's out there sniping for copyright claims. He could be listening right now.
I'm gonna
Luca
go with
Fogel
not
himself.
Luca Vogel.
He's like, are you playing me music on this Spotify? I don't know.
No, you're mixing my two stories together.
So he's not Irish
So he's not Irish.
that
Exactly.
you know of.
He could be with the name Fogel.
He sounds like he's Irish. I think he's Irish. I can look.
Actually, I think he's British because all his concerts are in British. Oh my gosh, Canadian. He's in Vancouver, Edmonton, the Saskatoon.
all it
Ottawa.
says on the bottom of his Spotify thing, it says, "Happy you're here. Hope
Happy
to
you're
see you
here.
soon." Yeah, hope you.
Hope to see you
Hope
soon.
to see you soon.
That's not
Come
a Canadian
to
accent
me
at
concert.
all.
Oh, I don't
The
know.
British accent is
I
not
don't
Canadian.
All right, watching / playing.
We've
All right.
gone off the deep end. I'm sorry.
I got a few things this week, Luke. First I watched a movie. I watched a movie in front of me. It was The Last Duel.
Watched a movie in front of me.
Yeah, it was in front of me with Luca Fogel.
Gotta stop.
It's awful.
Gotta stop.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Last Duel,
Yeah.
a movie that had a myriad of accents from people who
Yeah.
are very much American, except for the lead actress. She's British, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, really,
Worth a watch.
it's worth a watch.
Okay.
It's a good
Good
movie.
start.
It's a good movie. I mean, it's just it keeps it. I think it holds your attention pretty well. It does this interesting framing of the story. How like this isn't a spoiler. I think this is the framing of the movie. They'll like be like, okay, here's a bunch of stuff that happened. Okay, now here's this person's point of view during it. Now here's this other person's. And at first I was like, oh geez, am I gonna get sick of this? But I was like, okay, no. They show me pretty much exclusively new stuff, except for one scene which I have to bring up as kind of like a warning. There is obviously the sexual assault or the R word or whatever that's in this movie is awful.
R word.
Yeah, someone gets R-worded and it's terrible. I mean, it's like they show it one time and it's supposed to be framed, oh, it wasn't that bad, but it's still awful and it's still like terrible. And then they show it again and it's worse. Like the full thing. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is so rough to watch. But it's not like it's not like insanely graphic. It's just obviously upsetting, but it's just yeah. But there's some cool things that I didn't expect. Like for a moment, like at the end, like the last duel, I thought it was gonna be kind of just whatever. This isn't an action movie. I'm not coming in expecting an action movie. It was thrilling. Like when the actual duel happened, I was like, this is amazing. Oh yeah, this is the guy who did Gladiator, and this is Gladiator level action here at the end, and it's edge of your seat stuff, especially if you don't know how it plays out. It's really good. I was like, this is an amazing action scene. But no, everything else is good. The writing, the acting, it's all top-notch stuff. Check it out. It's on HBO. It's on HBO Max. So
Right
ease of access to those who have it. Couple games that I've gamed. I beat Psychonauts 2. It
Good.
has been finished.
Good.
So my thoughts on Psychonauts 2. It's great. It's a great game. Like, yeah, I think all the praise and attention and admiration, I think it's well warranted. I I think it's just one of those movies. I always use this word when I talk about certain games, and the word's like giving. You know, so there's times where you feel like a game just kind of like it barely got out there, you know, like you feel like, I felt like something about it was half baked. When I use the word giving, I usually mean, wow, they obviously were not skimping on anything. They were just throwing it at everything they had into this. And I can tell they did that with Psychonauts too. And they were really giving with their creativity, like around every corner of that game. There's something I just kept getting surprised throughout the entire game where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. You didn't have to do that, game. You didn't have to have that little visual flourish there, but you did. And you blew me away with it a little bit. It was just yeah, top to bottom. I don't think it's flawless. There are a couple things that if they make another one, which I hope they do, because this is great. This is really good, and I'm probably
got the money to do it now, so shouldn't take so long as it did last time.
Exactly. Yeah, Double Fine's got that Microsoft backing. So I mean, the only thing I say is this some of the controls. Okay, so I feel, and this is like a nitpicky thing almost, because the controls aren't bad, but I think they're a little too loosey goosey for my taste. So there will be like a few things where I'm like, I feel like I should be able to do this pretty easily. And for some reason, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I just keep falling, or I just keep getting hit, you know, and I just like, and I feel like I shouldn't be. And I just feel like the controls are just a little loosey-goosey, a little slippery here and there. Just, and the same thing goes with combat. The thing is, though, the game isn't hard, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's only a few instances where, like, in a boss fight, like, there's a couple of boss fights that are mildly challenging, but it's not hard, so it's not a big deal. Honestly, the controls aren't a big deal. It didn't really take away that much from my experience. It's one of those things where it's like whenever there was a combat situation, I was very meh about it. Whenever there was a combat situation, I was more like, okay, you know, instead of like, yeah, let's go, like I am in like Halo Infinite. Like when I see a bunch of bad guys around the corner, I'm like, let's freaking get them, you know. I'm like into it. So yeah, that's not where the game shines. The game shines in its story and how it's presented, the presentation. The platforming's good. I think usually the platforming's good. There's only a few instances where I'm like, I shouldn't be falling here, but I feel like I can't help it. But yeah, it's just great. I mean, I don't want to, there's a lot of stuff I'm not saying, because like it's hard to put into words how just with every level there'll just be something where you're like, what in the world? Like, for instance, there's this part where like there's this giant bottle, you're basically in someone's head and they're on an island, and a giant bottle comes out of the ocean and falls on the island. Then you pull the cork off, and then you're like, okay, I go into the bottle, and like the bottleneck turns into a hallway of an office. And it's just like little things like that, just all over the place, just all over the freaking place, where I'm like, what? How did they even think to do that?
Tim Schafer. Yep.
It's incredible. Like, that stuff's amazing. I think like I would,
stuff only comes about when you have somebody like Tim Schafer, like somebody, you know, interesting. It's like a great director that like thinks of something. I think of like being John Malkovich, just like,
yeah,
same kind of thing as like Psychonauts 2, where it's like, how did you think of this? But
you're 100% right, because
and a lot of times somebody else might have thought of the same thing and it just didn't work. But it's just like they have that it factor that they can create something that's not only like crazy and like an innovative, but also like fun and enjoyable.
You're absolutely right.
The hard mix.
All that stuff, happens from a direction in like storyboarding it out. Like, it's not like, game development's obviously a big part.
Very easy to mess up.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, it's on Game Pass, and this is definitely one of my favorite games on Game Pass. I think I really hope, like we talked about creativity in Microsoft, like this gave me like the fact that Double Fine's a really good get for that. I'm really happy that this is there.
Very unique.
It's something that I feel like everyone who has Game Pass, especially, I think it is on PC and PlayStation 5.
On Steam.
But, check it out. It's a good one. Lastly, I am a good way through. I'm gonna probably finish it by the end of this week. I'm a good way through Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, man. Starting it off, I'm like, yeah, this is clearly better than I expected. This is,
Yeah.
but the more and
The
more I
reviews
play
were
it,
like, wow, that's crazy. I never thought people would be so
yeah, and
happy with this one.
even me, like looking at the reviews, I'm like, how is it? Is it? It's that good? I mean, it looks better. It looks good, but is it
Yeah.
that good? Yeah, it is. There's moments where I'm just like, man, I'm loving this game. It's like it's like one of those games where it's for everyone. It really is. Like it's a game that everyone I think should experience, and no, it's not going to be something where I feel like people are. It's so pleasing in just so many different ways. I mean, the gameplay is good. The gameplay definitely is good. The combat's good. It's nothing crazy as far as the combat. It's good. It is good. And whenever I'm in a situation where I'm fighting, I'm like, it feels good to run around as Star-Lord, do jet all over the place and shoot, and take advantage of all the moves and call in your team to do certain things. It's good. But man, where the game like really just shines is its presentation and its story. It's great. And not just like the story itself, like from a script level, just how it's presented. It's so good. Like so good. Like man, I feel like this game does, and I feel like a lot of Guardians content that comes out there, whether it be like video game or like Lego or cartoon or anything like that, has so much to owe to James Gunn in his interpretation of of that story, of that comic. But they do their own thing with it. There's never a moment where I'm playing this game where I'm like, yeah, this is like fake Guardians of the Galaxy. The real stuff's on screen. I never feel that. Like this is another interpretation, even though it's like the same kind of like, oh, it's the same performance that Rocket Raccoon does with like Bradley Cooper or whatever. It's the same thing, but it doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't. Like there's a few things that are different. Like Gamora does a really different interpretation as far as her personality. And I actually really like this Gamora a lot in this game, but check it out. This game is often on sale. I think when I got it, it was on a Black Friday for like $30. Well worth it. Like, oh my gosh.
Who made that game?
This is Eidos Montreal, Square Enix. Fantastic. Cool. Here's some areas of improvement for next go around, because I don't know how this game ends yet, but I hope there's going to be a sequel. I really do. Yeah, I feel like there's a few things that just could be tightened up a little bit. Maybe you're getting used to an engine or really ambitious or something like that, or maybe when it's just a specific game that's for these current gen systems and not so much for last gen, because from what I've heard, like from like Digital Foundry, these games don't run great on last gen. Not a disaster or anything like that, just not great, and they run pretty good on a current gen.
Seem to be pushing people out of the last gen much faster this time, which is understandable. I mean, it keeps becoming harder and harder to run games as they get more and more advanced. So,
right, you
have your free to play that I feel like will work okay on the last gen for a long time, but these exclusives like this, I feel like it's okay to say, okay, you're gonna have to get a new one,
and you don't really get it.
It's just a shame you can't go out and buy one. That's always the problem I go to. It's like, man, that sucks for people. But at least maybe more people will be able to stream games. And
that's true.
Like we talked about before.
I need to give you an update on that. But yeah, I can see why this is just a really demanding game. There's just so much stuff going on. There's so much detail packed into every part. Where like there's things where like, okay, like you're going out of your ship, right? And the way the door opens, it's not just a platform comes out, goes, but no, it's like and all this crap just going all over the place. You're like, yeah, this is busy. There's like a lot of stuff going on screen, where I'd imagine this would be expensive from a hardware standpoint. But yeah, dude, it's the stuff. I mean, if as far as superhero or comic book games, it's for me so far, and I don't imagine it's going to change. It's right up there with Arkham series, Spider-Man, and this is great. This is just great. So,
and a lot of recommends from what I've heard.
Yeah,
podcasts. It's awesome.
Yeah, I hate to be going along with the party, but yep, it's the thing.
It really look like it was going to miss the mark to me.
Right. We were there together.
It was just a terrible reveal.
Right. We were there watching it and being like, oh, geez, more of this. I mean, it looks okay, but
yeah, it was like, okay. I mean, it just looks like a linear adventure where you play one out of, a crew of characters.
Yeah. It was a terrible first impression of a great game.
Glad it worked.
I'm glad it worked too. Yeah, lastly, I will touch base on that. I did immediately after the podcast kind of try out a few games on the Xbox Series S. It was okay. Okay, so it was okay from a visual standpoint. Like as far as, yeah, it does look a little blurry, even though it is being probably played from a Series X. Like I played Forza Horizon. I tried out a few. I played Forza Horizon. What other game did I load up? I forget, but I played a couple others, and I remember thinking, yeah, this looks good. This looks perfectly acceptable. Like, it doesn't look quite as good if I was playing it on Series S natively, which is what I was wondering. Will it look better than Series S native?
Which makes sense that it doesn't.
Yeah, what I will say, it looks like playing it on my computer was a little bit more of an impressive thing, mainly because it's not a very big monitor, 1080p versus a 70-inch.
Are you
4K.
hardwired in on your computer and not on your Xbox?
You know what? I don't think my Xbox is hardwired in. I don't know why. I need to hardwire that in. But yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm hardwired on my PC, but not on my
Could help a little
Xbox.
bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've been meaning to hook that up for a bit. I forget that I haven't done that. So I might give that a take too, as far as trying that out. But as far as like playability and convenience and how it does it, same thing I was talking about before. Like loading screen, here it is. Here's your save, go. And as far as like smooth and like in latency, I'm sure it's there, but not to the point where it bothers me. So I'm pretty impressive still. So what you got, Luke?
Well, I've been streaming a few games, so I'll talk about that.
Awesome.
Rainbow Six Extraction came out and immediately went into Game Pass, so I was playing that quite a bit. And yeah, so my review of this game, it's a little bit of a mixed bag here. Rainbow Six Siege is a game that came out many a moon ago. I want to say 2016, just off the top of my head. So what, that's been 7 years now? 5 years? 6 years? Whatever it is. Many moons.
It's been a time.
It's been whatever math that adds up to. So yeah, that's a game that came out with, some mixed, probably leaning towards negative reviews when it first came out. And then it's one of those games that Ubisoft just never gave up on. Honestly, they said, no, we're going to make this work. And when I first played it, I said, this is very unique and I am definitely here for this. For those, 4 people in the world who don't know what Rainbow Six Siege is, it's a tactical shooter. So it's online, multiplayer with other players, just like most shooters are nowadays. Hold on, I gotta.
Sorry, I added it
so
in for you.
You have your SWAT, and then whatever your tactical response team, whatever their name is, and then you have your terrorists, your robbers, whoever they are. And you have these various maps where they're doing different things. There's like one where there's like a biohazard weapon, there's one where there's like a nuke, and there's another one where there's hostages. And so in that game you're going in as a SWAT team, and then well, actually it's only multiplayer. That's right. I'm thinking it ended up going free to play, just as that became such a thing, as so many things do, and as so many Ubisoft games are going. And this being, I think, one of the first free to play games that they actually pushed that with. It just ended up being this, what it seems like a pretty big cash cow and a competitive shooter for Ubisoft, but overall just a great success. And I think IGN re-reviewed it, great reviews. Anyways, long story short, this all leads into Rainbow Six Quarantine, which ended up being turned to Extraction.
Yeah,
I actually really like Quarantine better as a name, and it's the name I always think of when I think of this game, but that's neither here nor there. But so this game is very, very much based on Siege. Almost all the operators in Siege, at least from the first 2 years, are in this game, and they're the guys and girls that you choose from. You know, the list of operators you choose from and you play with, and the system is you are dropped in a lot like Siege into a map that's been infested with this weird mix of alien and like
the symbiote from a Venom or something.
Yeah, a little bit like that. It seems like it's some kind of disease alien. It's like there's like all this crap all over the walls, and there's all these things like growing on the walls and all up like the Liberty
the
Tower
Flood.
and all this stuff. Yeah, a lot, actually, a lot like the Flood. They even pop like the Flood when you shoot them, and all the crap goes everywhere. But so, like, you know, my first impression is, okay, this is an interesting idea. It's unique. You know, I'm always the one that wants people to push new ideas and you know, new intellectual property. And though this isn't completely original because it's based off Siege, which Siege was completely original. It's based on the Rainbow Six series, but each Rainbow Six game is kind of different. So, you know, I was happy about that, and I was happy that they were doing something new and different. What I didn't really like is how much this feels like Siege. I mean, it's 80% Rainbow Six Siege, just with a different map, and instead of shooting each other, you know, in multiplayer, you're shooting these different alien types. And you know, that could work, but the aliens themselves are, as somebody else mentioned in another podcast I was listening to, they're not scary like in the least. Like it's nothing like Alien Isolation or something where, you know, you're wondering if they're going to pop around the next corner. It's none of that. You know, that may happen, but it's just like, okay. You know, the only thing that's kind of scary is they do damage you very quickly, so you're always like backing up and trying to shoot, like, no, stop. It's not like, oh, it's nothing like that. It's, please don't kill me. So yeah, it's like I'm mixed because I like the original idea and I'm glad they're trying something new, but at the same time, this is very samey, and it doesn't have an enemy that's intimidating at all, scary in the least, which really from the trailer it felt like they were trying to go for that.
Right.
This scare factor, this creepiness, and there's none of that at all, in my opinion. It's just like you hear them like announcing it like, oh, we got to save these people. Oh, all this is happening. You don't get emotionally involved in the least. And, you know, I mean, it's a game, so I understand. You don't always do that. But, you know, I mean, some games, you know, they do accomplish that. And so, you know, maybe it's not going to be PT, but I feel like it could be somewhere in between, you know, an action game and PT. It could be somewhere in there where it's creepy, but it's fun and actiony, and it's not that, unfortunately. And, you know, each map that you go to is honestly just a mixed up version of the last map. You know, the environment's changed a little bit, but you're just going room to room, accomplishing the tasks. You're just trying to RPG this thing. You know, you're just trying to get your points up so you can upgrade your tech. And, you know, it's what so many games have turned into. You know, same RPG thing. Don't you want to carry this around now? This new grenade type or this new sight for your gun. And, you know, that can be cool, but this very, very samey. So, you know, this is a very mid-tier review on mine. And I want to see if they stick with it, and, you know, maybe they extrapolate to it and there's new map types that are actually feel completely different, maybe an open area, because all these are like these little offices, and it's just do something new.
Ubisoft's interesting. I mean, I feel like they, you know, they have this really economic way of trying to branch off with their properties. They talk about how this is kind of like, you know, they took basically Siege as foundation, and we're like, okay, we're going to kind of almost build this game on top of Siege almost. And,
very much.
And they have a history of this. I mean, obviously with like doing Far Cry 4 and then Far Cry Primal, which is the same map and assets, just with basically a different skin, which, you know, in a way, you know, that
New Age, isn't it? After they did the
and
whatever the Western United States one is.
And that may sound like I'm framing that in a negative way. I'm really not. I mean, I think like that could be a good economic way of trying to do something new, but I guess it only works if it, as you said, if it feels new. But yeah, I mean, I think like the head's in the right place of trying to do new things in that way. But
honestly, if you're
Yeah.
gonna do something based off something, just be upfront about it. Don't make it try to like sell it
Yeah.
as we're doing this whole new Rainbow Six thing. It's called Extraction. No, you're not. You're doing Rainbow Six Siege Aliens. Like that's what you're doing. It's simple as that.
when I saw I remember seeing the trailer for it in the Ubisoft E3 presentation. I remember thinking at the time, I was like, oh, so this is DLC, right? And I was
Yeah.
kind of surprised that it wasn't, but oh well,
Yeah.
is what it is.
No surprise there. So the other game I've been playing streaming is Hitman 3. The whole
Ooh.
Hitman 1, 2, and 3 collection just came out on Game Pass as well. And that's another one I've been streaming. And yeah, like I said, streaming is just amazing because earlier I was down there and I was looking at it. I'm like, okay, I can get the Hitman 3 collection. Sweet. 70 gigs.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
don't
about
think
right.
I have the room for that on my hard drive, and I just want to play now. So I was just like, oh my God, I can stream. Immediately clicked over and did that. So yeah, it's just,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's probably going to be the way I experience most games, unless it becomes a game that I'm just like, yeah, this is my game. But Hitman 3, man, I've told you before, like I really love what they did with these, revitalization of the Hitman series, whatever it's referred to. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's the reboot, I guess, right? Hitman
Yeah.
reboot. I don't know.
I guess I feel like the 2020s are the years of the reboots.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything's new again, right?
Scream.
Yeah, God of War. Yep.
God of War. Yeah.
Yeah, Halo. You can go on and on with this.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Good Lord.
So yeah, Hitman 3, it's just, it's an extension of what what I actually don't think I got to play Hitman 2. But I loved Hitman 1. I put many hour into that, and I've heard Hitman 3 is even better, so I'm excited. I got to play, maybe 40 minutes, maybe an hour earlier today, and really enjoyed it. It's just Dubai level where you come in on this wingsuit, and it's so cool. You're in the whatever the name of that giant tower is that they shot cars through in Fast and Furious 48 or whichever one it was. They did that.
It was 7
Last one with Paul Walker. I'm just messing. Most of the time I act dumb just to make it funny.
You're making up on that.
Just making it fun. Wow. It says the 2018 was Hitman 2. I didn't realize it'd been that long. Anyways, I would just highly recommend this if you have Game Pass. I mean, just jump on and stream it just for a little while, just to even see if you like it. I personally do. I like that it is one of the few stealth games right now that I think is excellent stealth, like absolutely perfect stealth. It's like you have to take it slow.
Mm-hmm.
You have to plan out your attack. There's, you go in and start shooting people. You could do that, but you're going to die. Like you're absolutely going to die. You cannot win this game just going in guns blazing. It's just not how this works. Very much Splinter Cell. I mean, Hitman was doing this before Splinter Cell even existed, honestly. But, if you do miss Splinter Cell, which was just amazing set of games, this very much, I think, scratches that itch. And it's honestly got a really cool story that I'm not really following, but from what I've gotten of it, it's like this is pretty awesome. I feel like somebody who really likes lore, which would probably be more your boat, could get into this. Going back and starting from the first Hitman.
Yeah,
and the fact that the whole series is now on Game Pass is just amazing. I just
all
what
once.
a get.
That's great.
Yeah, what a get. Like to get Hitman 3 was amazing to me because it was a pretty big game last year. So
Yeah,
I had considered buying it. I wasn't quite intrigued enough to pull the trigger on that, but I'm glad I waited now because I'm happy to enjoy it in this way.
it's one of those games they were like, look at the next one of our, early next gen games, and so that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so highly recommend that one. The only other thing I was going to mention is we've been going through How I Met Your Mother. We're trying to
That's
do
right.
the entire thing, which is probably going to take quite a while. There's 208 episodes, and I think we're just getting to the end of the first season, so it could be a while. 9 seasons of that show.
It's a bit.
But I guess Bethany wants to watch How I Met Your Father, which I think we talked about a little bit before. And
Did we?
so I think I mentioned that it was coming out or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's a Hulu show.
Yeah.
I guess pretty cool thing or something. I don't know.
Hilary Duff, right?
Yeah, Hilary Duff is the main reason.
Yeah.
My wife wants to watch it. But,
Oh, I didn't know Bethany was a Hilary
yeah.
Duff fan.
Yeah, she's always loved Hilary Duff.
All right.
So we'll see how it goes. We're enjoying it so far. I mean,
Cool.
you know, it's one of those shows where I think we've seen like at least 80% of it, but I don't think I ever finished the final season because I don't know. It was one of those shows I just didn't want to end, so I never finished watching it. But I think this is going to be a good way to really like experience the whole story, you know, episode to episode. So
Yeah, that'll be fun. It's a good
Here we
show
go.
to kind of just relax and watch and have a laugh.
Yeah.
Have a fun.
Have a good fun.
All right, man. Well, here we go. I got
Let's talk the year.
You want to do movies or games
Year in
first?
advance.
Movies or games?
I got the movies up, so let's talk movies.
Let's do it. All right. I mean, what is this, Jordan? You have the wrong. Okay, there it is. All right. So we're
I
at
have the Rotten Tomatoes 41 most anticipated movies.
Ooh, let's go. We're in the end of January, so is there
Yep.
even anything left? I mean, oh yeah, there's no, there's not, right?
Nope, nothing left.
There's nothing
Nope.
left. I was like, oh yeah,
Nope.
there's no,
Jackass got pushed.
that's
Yep.
it. All right, so next up is
Yep.
Jackass Forever and Moonfall are coming out on the same day.
Yeah, Moonfall.
Yeah, man.
This one came out of nowhere. Really, I had not heard about this until like a month ago, or I don't even remember. Not that long ago.
What can I say? I'm into that kind of crap. I'm just it's
Disaster stuff.
Yeah. It's like talking about like Don't Look Up. Like even if you're not enjoying the satire, I was kind of like, I'm kind of enjoying the end of the world stuff. You know what I mean?
I agree. I wish that movie had been more about that.
It was
my favorite part
enjoyable.
about it.
I was like, oh man, how's their plan gonna go? Oh, how's
Yeah.
everyone gonna take the news that everyone's gonna die? You know,
Yeah.
and, oh, here it
Mhm.
comes. Here comes the
That was
boom.
the best part.
Here comes the boom. Boom.
Jordan, spoiler.
Sorry, there's a boom. Yeah,
Something happens that booms.
I apologize. But here comes the moon in this one. We're not gonna.
Good one.
It's something I've joked about for a long time. Like, oh man, what if the
Yeah.
moon just fell on us? We're getting it. The only thing
Everyone's
that's
favorite thing to happen.
the only thing that's lame though, I don't know. They're throwing aliens in there. Obviously, there's like an
Yeah.
alien thing. I wish it was just the moon, but whatever.
Just the moon.
I wish it was just the moon.
That task alone is enough. How do we correct the moon's orbit around the Earth?
I don't know how they're
Quite a
getting
tall
out of
order.
this thing. It's over, right? Like just watching the trailer, you're like, well,
Yep,
this
It's done.
can't go well. I mean,
Yep. Get on the spaceship and survive as long as you can because the Earth is done.
right. All right. Well, what I have for here is next weekend, Death on the Nile and Marry Me are coming out the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Got any interest in that?
So I watched Death on the Orient, Murder on the Orient, and I guess this is the next book in the series. I don't know this book series very well, but yeah, Bethany and I enjoyed Murder on the Orient.
Mhm.
We actually I think that was actually back in the Movie Pass time, maybe.
Was it? Oh,
I think it was. I think it was one of the movies I got to see on Movie Pass.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it was a pretty darn good
Mhm.
telling of the Murder of the Orient book. And Hercule Poirot, it's a cool character, you know.
Mhm.
He's a cool character, and I think Kenneth Branagh
Brana.
does a really good job. Branagh.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, he's awesome, and it's a cool thing. Get a star-studded cast and have a whodunit.
Yeah, very much star-studded cast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We Don't Marry Me is a movie that I probably will see. Amber and I looked at each other and like, let's just do it. We talked a lot about, man, there's not any like of these rom-coms. They don't really, they're all on Netflix. They're not they're not having like big stars or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. I've complained enough. Wah. I'm going to freaking see this movie with Amber for Valentine's Day and see what it's like when J-Lo and Owen Wilson get married. You see the trailer for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll see. It's probably one
Definitely
of the
not a movie for me.
You know, I don't know if it's going to be a movie for me. I might be like, I immediately regret my decision. Like 10 minutes in, I don't know, but whatever. I'm doing it. What you got next, Luke?
Sorry, I was watching the Marry Me trailer.
Really?
Uncharted. That's the big one on
Uncharted.
Rotten Tomatoes next. Definitely excited for that. I mean, I think, I would say I'm a Tom Holland fan. So,
Yeah.
anything he's in, I'm definitely going to pay attention to.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're kind of in a hopeful period for video game movies with like a few that eked out as being pretty good and people liking for the most part. And so people are now like, anytime a video game movie comes about, they're no longer like immediately like, this is going to be terrible. They're like, okay, it might be good. Who knows? Like any other movie. So we'll see.
Yeah. IGN was reporting that The Rock is working on a movie that he said he's been playing for years. So interested to see what news comes out around that.
He's done Doom. He's done Rampage. So I'm wondering what he's looking at next.
Yeah, I was thinking like Call of Duty, maybe new Doom. I
know. Going back to
what
Doom.
What movie has he played? What game has he played for years? I was trying to think.
I don't know what games The Rock plays.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like somebody who would have any time for playing any shenanigans.
Right, exactly.
Like, no.
It's like
maybe like Words with Friends. That seems like all he'd have time. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a Words with Friends game.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big property.
To save the world, he has to.
Candy Crush movie.
Oh my gosh. Great. Shout out to this movie. Okay, this is the dumbest thing that I showed Amber the trailer. She's like, we gotta see this. Studio 666. What is this, Luke? Have you heard of this?
No, I don't have this on my list. This is a truncated list, so these are the big movies.
Gotcha. I'm not going to name too many of these smaller ones, but this is a comedy horror. I'm going to say probably more comedy. This is just about... It's written by Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters. It's about the Foo Fighters like renting out this house to record their new album, and it's haunted shenanigans. And so I don't know. It's so ridiculous. I like the Foo Fighters. I like Dave Grohl. So it looks so stupid, but I want to see it.
What's the name of that one?
Studio 666.
666.
Okay. Yeah, it's just so silly. It's got a few names in there, a few cameos, but. Just the Foo Fighters, the movie, basically, except it's just like, here's the plot.
That's a strange idea.
It is really a strange idea, but I'm all for it.
Yeah. Huh.
The Batman.
Yeah, I mean, is it going to get much bigger than the Batman this year?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, Doctor Strange is coming out, right?
Right, but
I don't know though. The Batman, I think it might be my movie of the year this year.
Batman is Batman, and so I
think it's at least my most like I really want to see what this is.
Right, and apparently it's very long, like a few minutes shy of 3 minutes, like 3 hours, which is
they said one cut was 4.
What? Good Lord!
Hopefully they edited that cut down.
Yeah, it's just interesting. A lot of times when that happens, it's usually like a sequel or something that ends up being super long like that. And but no, it's just I'm very curious about it, and I think
DC movies keep being super long.
Right? What's the deal with that? I mean, like we have a few long Marvel ones like Endgame, but that's wrapping up like 20 movies worth of storytelling. So, but the Batman, for the first one out of the gate, that's quite long.
Yeah. Super excited though.
Very excited. Yeah, that's soon.
What's the date? Let's make sure everybody understands these dates. March
4th. Yeah, it's very soon. What do you have next, Luke?
Turning Red is the next one on the the Rotten Tomatoes list. Pixar movie,
Oh yeah,
March 11th.
yeah. It looks pretty. It looks fun. Looks fun. I laughed.
Coming of
at the
age
trailer.
tale about a 13-year-old girl who transforms into giant red panda.
Got
Whenever
yeah,
she gets too excited about something.
got that in sync in the trailer. It's a great. Anytime there's like a great song in a trailer,
I
I'm
haven't
like,
seen the
yeah.
trailer for this one.
It's funny. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. You got any interest in Downton Abbey, a new era, Luke?
No, don't. Never have. Never
I've
will.
never seen Downton Abbey. Ooh, so
Zachary Levi is in a movie called The Unbreakable Boy. I've not heard of that.
I haven't heard of that either. Huh. This one caught my eye. I did not know about this movie. We saw the trailer for it when we were waiting for Scream. The Lost City. Have you seen the trailer for this one?
Oh yeah,
This looks great, right?
that's the next one on the big list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely into it.
I didn't know anything about
Rom-com
it.
kind of thing. I'm thinking.
Right, like rom-com kind of action adventure sort of ish. But I remember like looking at it.
Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum are very differently aged, aren't they?
Yes.
I think she's a lot older than him.
Yes.
He's at least been in a lot more movies for a lot many years.
Yes.
Maybe they're similar. I don't know.
It's weird because when you see them together, it's not like a weird thing. It's not like looking at like it's not like Timothy Chalamet or something like that.
She's one of those people who hasn't aged a lot.
Right, right.
Definitely taking care of herself.
Yeah, she looks great. And
Yeah.
yeah, you got freaking Daniel Radcliffe as like this
Yeah.
insane villain, and
He's in so much stuff right now.
right,
Awesome.
he's good. What you got next,
Sandra
Luke?
Bullock was born in 64 and Channing Tatum was born in 80. So I'm definitely
Ooh.
right. They are very differently aged.
Yeah, it's quite the age gap, but you know, if it works on
16
screen,
years.
people won't bat an eye. If it looks
Yeah.
okay on screen, then
Like I said,
No one
she's
cares.
taking care of herself. So good for her that she can play down in age.
right.
Mobius is the next one on my list.
Where's that? It's April something or other.
April 1st.
April 1st. Okay.
Maybe it won't come out.
Who knows? This
We'll
movie's
see.
got pushed like 6 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I got to be honest, I am not really looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, not really for me either.
I feel like I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. But then again, my expectations aren't high, so I don't think it's possible to be
Yeah.
disappointed in this case. It's just like, oh, it just feels like another version of Venom
Yeah.
with a character that I don't think anybody was asking for.
Yeah. It's like, look, I'm going to see it, but it's like
Yeah.
every time I see a trailer, I'm just like, I want to hit the next button. If I had a remote
Yeah.
control on it when I was in the theater, I would hit it to go to the
It
next
feels
one.
like it's from a different time as well, doesn't it? Because the world was in such a vampire craze for a while, and we're like very much past that now.
Right.
It was like vampires, then there were zombies, and now it's like all of that is kind of old news.
yeah,
What the
exactly.
craze is now.
I don't know what the craze is now. Luke.
Dying world with disease.
Multiple universes, I guess, is the craze.
Pandemics.
The multiverse.
Multiverses and pandemics.
People want a multiverse. Yeah, I'll see it, but yeah, as you said, I have no real excitement for it.
I think Jared Leto just isn't made for the superhero game, whether it's,
Maybe
an
not.
anti-hero or bad guy or whatever. I just think his weird personality is just not made to fit with that.
There's something like, and there's certain roles that he works in, but if it's not specifically one of those working roles, he's in this like situation where I'm like, oh wow, he's like acting with a capital A, where you're very much aware that he's trying to do a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
another couple big movies coming out same day. I would say at least Ambulance and Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah. Definitely, Ambulance is definitely up my alley.
Right. I think it looks
and of
quite good.
course, Sonic was great, so I can only imagine the second sequel will probably follow in its footsteps.
Yeah, apparently it's
Seems
a
like all
lot
the
more
returning
epic.
cast, all the returning cast, including freaking Jim Carrey. That was weird to me. It just felt like, why would you reveal that in the trailer? Like,
Right. I mean, I
the whole big
imagine.
thing at the end of the movie was that he was like gone and he was like trapped, and then it's like, I'm back.
Yeah, and he got his
Okay.
assistant who's also back. I imagine
Yeah.
it's gonna be like first 5 minutes of the movie, maybe. I don't know, but
I sure hope so.
right,
Better not
right.
do some big reveal now.
I think the big thing, the big like ooh, is Knuckles and whatever they're gonna do with the Chaos Emeralds. I imagine.
But also, they could have saved that for the movie as well.
Yeah,
The Knuckles thing.
Yeah,
They
you know,
spoiled
yeah.
everything in that trailer.
Yeah,
Kind of annoying.
yeah.
And even Tails. It's like we know everything.
Yeah.
Everything that's coming.
Well, one thing, if they bring like Chaos into it, which is a pretty big Sonic villain, and it maybe like there's be a supersonic transformation. I don't know, because the Chaos Emeralds, whatever. I mean that. I don't know if they like saved that and that was in there. I'd be like, okay, cool.
But you're running out of stuff for Sonic the
really
Hedgehog
are.
3.
Right. I mean, where do you go?
It was
I guess
a really bad trailer. I mean, it could be a great movie. It's just you absolutely had no need to reveal all
Show
that.
as
You
much
could have
as you
shown other
did.
stuff.
It's the very first trailer too.
It should have just been a teasery thing.
Right. The fact that like we're in a world where there was a Sonic movie and most people liked it, and the fact that there's a Sonic 2 coming out that most people are anticipating is still kind of crazy to me.
It is. Definitely.
Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore is coming out. The funny thing about these movies, as someone who is a Harry Potter fan, these movies seem to be something that the Fantastic Beasts movies specifically, that it feels like people aren't excited for ever. I don't know what the deal is, but that being said, I enjoy them fine. Like, they're fine.
Wasn't the last one not received well?
No, they didn't like it, but I liked that one more than the first one. So I'm just the odd man out because I just liked how intense it was and how like, I don't know, like a spy movie it was, but I don't know. A lot of people didn't like it. I get it.
It's another one that's been coming for a long time.
Yeah, because they had to quote unquote had to recast Johnny Depp to cast Mads Nicholson. It's whatever. But he wasn't featured very prominently in the second one, which is the one he appeared in, but I don't know. Still, it's weird and needless, but whatever. World we live in, man. I wanted to bring this one up. I don't know if it's on your list, Luke, but you'll have to correct me if it is. The Northman?
Mm-hmm. So the bad guys and Northman are both on the same day.
I haven't heard about the bad guys. Do you know anything about that one?
It's a Dreamcast or DreamWorks, not Dreamcast.
It's coming out on Dreamcast.
DreamWorks Animation Studios project. Heist comedy based on a popular series of children's books.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Reformed villains decide to go straight and do some good in the world. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see. I think you'll agree. There's definitely a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to DreamWorks projects.
Right. I used to think like DreamWorks animation was like amazing because there was like a point where I was like, they're hitting it out of the park with everything, and then it kind of became a little bit more.
Were they the Guardians?
Down.
Right?
Yeah, they are, and they did Kung Fu Panda and freaking How to Train Your Dragon. All that stuff's great, and then like kind of Home is like I don't know. Every now and then. Yeah. They're kind of you don't really know now these days. But have you seen the Northman trailer?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. This is the guy who did The Witch and Lighthouse. So obviously, big artistic director doing he's doing a Viking thing. So
the cast list definitely has me here for it.
Right.
Bjork is in it.
That's what I said. What?
Interesting.
I didn't catch her in the trailer, but I was like, Bjork? Yeah. I don't know.
I'm watching the trailer now.
Right.
But I mean, just like seeing the screenshot and seeing the cast list, it's like, yep.
Yeah.
I want to watch this.
Yep.
Yep. That's
Cool.
all I need to know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is one of those movies, isn't it?
The
Where-
Lighthouse was like a movie that it was like, it's interesting enough. Like, you know, I had mixed reviews on that movie. It was freaking weird and very indie, but it
What?
was interesting enough that it's like, you know, whatever he does next, I just want to see because it's
Right.
probably going to be crazy.
It's like, oh, maybe you'd like to see the same artistry and camera
Yeah.
work applied to a more accessible story.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
this is it. I don't know.
Same kind of thing with like the Green Knight. It's like
Yeah.
whatever that man does next, I want to see.
Right.
This looks really good from this trailer.
It
This
does look
looks-
good. I remember
this
seeing it
looks
being
awesome.
like, yep, that's something I want to see in theaters.
I
Um,
haven't seen a movie like this come out in a while, like a serious,
right.
like medieval style. Well, I guess you just talked about one.
What, the
The
Green
freaking
Knight?
Last Duel.
Oh, yeah. Well, that doesn't count.
I didn't see that, but
It doesn't
you know,
count. This
I'm
one's
saying like medieval style, like Middle Ages.
yeah, like fantastical and big, like on the scale of 300, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like something like that. Yeah.
that wasn't big scale. You're saying, but
Right. No, and it's not like big
That
and
type of movie,
fantastical,
no.
you know, it's not like, yeah. What do you got next, Luke?
Braveheart, basically, is what we're trying to say.
We want a Braveheart. Give me a Braveheart.
Legally Blonde 3.
What?
I
When's
did
that
not
coming?
know this was coming out,
Jeez,
but
I didn't know it was
it
coming
says
either.
TBD in May. So, yeah, interesting. Like I said before, those original movies were good. I mean, I know people are like, "Wait, you shouldn't like that. You're a dude." It's like, shut up. Those movies were good. Like, I can love The Lighthouse, or maybe not love. I can enjoy a movie like The Lighthouse. I just said I didn't like it, but I can have a certain enjoyment from a movie like The Lighthouse. and
yeah,
also
there's
enjoy
a
Legally
certain
Blonde.
enjoyment. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember liking the first one. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I don't really remember the second one. Maybe I need to take another look so I
It's
can
just
catch
a
up.
really good, like, in the feels, like, rom-com. It really is. Like, if you get past like the goofiness of the idea of Legally Blonde, it's like the movie itself is really good. Like, Reese
Right.
Witherspoon is a great, you know, warm, kindred spirit, like, when it comes to rom-com. So, you know, get over yourself.
Yeah, get
Enjoy
over
a
it.
movie for what it is. I guess I skipped over Doctor Strange and the
Oh, can't do
Multiverse
that.
of Madness. For some reason, Rotten Tomatoes had it listed after, but I guess just because it's TBD, so they don't know when it's going to come in May. But yeah, Doctor Strange is May 6th, according to this list.
Yeah, first Marvel movie of the year. We don't need to say too much about it because we're there, obviously. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if you saw Spider-Man and stayed after the trailer, you know what's coming.
yeah, that's right.
Entire freaking trailers after it.
I know that's so weird.
I hope they don't start doing that.
Yeah, I don't make that a thing.
I like the little teases and the little extra scenes so much better.
Yeah, it could have
Easter
been
eggs.
like a Sony working with Marvel concession. I don't know.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick, that's still coming, right? I see.
Oh my
I
gosh.
right
Been coming for so long.
for so
This
long.
list I'm looking at, that same weekend is Bob's Burgers and Top Gun Maverick.
Right. Which that makes
It's
sense.
a terrible weekend for the Bob's Burgers movie.
Right. I mean, but you
'Cause
know,
I'm sure that's gonna be good. I mean, you
it's
know,
such a different kind of movie that I feel
Yeah.
like if the people who want to see Bob's Burgers will see Bob's Burgers.
maybe.
Which I might. I need to watch more Bob's Burgers. I've only seen like
I just hear
handful of
such good
episodes.
things about it.
it's good.
You know,
It's
I
funny.
don't watch as many animated shows, but
Yeah.
so many fans of that show.
It's funny. But Top Gun Maverick, of course, we've been
Yeah.
anticipating this. I think we probably mentioned it like on the last year's when we did this last
Probably
year. We
did.
probably mentioned it because it was probably supposed to come out.
What a mess.
What a
you know,
mess.
when's the last time a Tom Cruise movie came out?
I
Mission
don't,
Impossible is now pushed back another year.
which is insane.
Oh.
I made a big deal about how The King's Man was pushed back by 2 years. We're talking 3 for Mission
Yep.
Impossible. 3
Top Gun's got to be
years.
getting close to that
It
too, right?
really
It's been
is.
a while. We're
It's
at least on
crazy.
year 2.
Man. Whew. All
It's
right.
got to come out now. I mean, it seems like Spider-Man has now paved the way to say, look, bring out a quality movie, you're going to bank,
Right. It can happen.
because Spider-Man banked.
Right.
Second highest opening of all time, people.
Yeah, if it's hype enough, it's good enough, people will come.
Yeah.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
This one feels like it's been a long time coming, right? I mean, I feel
does.
like it.
Yeah. It feels like the last one was so long ago.
Right. Like,
so long ago.
it does feel like a long time has passed between. It was like Jurassic World, okay, then Fallen Kingdom came not too long after. Long
Jeff
gap.
Goldblum's in this movie?
Dude, they're all in it. They're all in it.
Wait, was Jeff Goldblum in any of the others?
Well, Jeff Goldblum showed up in like a
Did he?
scene of Fallen Kingdom. Like he was in like court testifying or something. But he's in this one. Dr. Grant is in it.
Laura Dern.
Laura
Yeah.
Dern's in it. I don't know. For all I know, the kids are gonna show up. I don't. It's crazy.
Is weird.
He left
Very
us.
weird.
He left us. Lightyear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's something I wish had come out when I was a kid. Honestly,
I
Like,
think
was
you're right.
so
I think
into
that's
Toy
right.
Story,
Yeah.
but it's just been a long time, and there's been a lot of good Toy Story stuff. It kind of feels like they're just trying to tap into that same,
Yeah.
bank again of the Toy Story fans. I don't know. It's just
I think
okay.
you said that correctly. like I wish because like I sometimes I get caught up in because I can regress and I can watch kid stuff a lot, but sometimes when it comes to things that are coming out and me being like, why are you making that, like this for me, I'm like, why this? But yeah, when I was a kid, I've been like, oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be great, that's gonna be a treat, there's no way I can not see that, oh my gosh. So yeah, I get it. That's a good way to put it. What do you got next, Luke?
There's an Elvis movie coming out that they put on this list. Baz Luhrmann directs slice of life biopic.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
that's interesting. Baz Luhrmann. I mean, that's a
Tom Hanks
huh.
will be in it.
okay.
Austin Butler,
That
Gary Clark Jr.
you kind of got me with the Baz
actually
Luhrmann thing. So
I got to look up at the site. I didn't know about this.
I didn't know about it either. Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's untitled Elvis project at this point. So, that I'm sure that release date and all that. It's in post production at this point. So I don't know. June seems like could be a little early for this to get released.
Okay, I wasn't gonna mention this, but like I kind of can't believe it. I don't know what it is, but it's a movie called Shotgun Wedding, and it has Josh Duhamel and J-Lo. Another one. Is it the same premise?
She's back. She
back, I
dropped
guess.
A-Rod, and now she's working again, I guess.
Movies exclusively about getting married.
I wanted to get married.
Dang it!
said
Now I'm gonna
no.
make 5 movies about getting married in a weird way. I just had to bring this up.
Doesn't have a picture yet. So.
No. I can't believe this isn't out. I do not like this franchise and I have zero anticipation for it, but this is another one that's supposed to come out so long ago and I can't believe it hasn't. Minions: Rise of Gru.
Oh man.
That didn't come.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It says formally July 2nd of last year.
Okay, that's a lot.
But I swear was coming out in 2020 as well.
Yeah, I swear
I think
as
that's
well.
just the last date that it was.
Yeah, that's just the last
And I'm talking
casualty.
about the one before that.
Yeah.
I thought this movie came out.
Oh yeah, like well out. Like it's
Oh my
been on
gosh.
Blu-ray for a long time, but no. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious, what an embarrassment. Like really?
That's July
really?
1st, everyone. So everyone knows where we're at this point.
Rise of Gru? We really have to like, oh wait, the population isn't ready for freaking Minions
They gotta
Rise of
set up
Gru.
Fall of Gru.
Oh my god. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th.
Yep. There it is.
There it is, baby. That's pretty
I think that's gonna be my jam.
yeah, that's an exciting one. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Taika did a lot of fun stuff with Ragnarok, so really excited with the direction that he took Thor. Excited to see
Absolutely.
him get a second, another shot at continuing.
Yeah, and it's
we started with.
he'll be the one the hero that has the most movies, like the most solo movies at this point. He'll have 4 solo movies. This will be his 4th, which is kind of cool. That wow, I never would have guessed of all the Marvel heroes, Thor would be the one to have the most movies, but here we are, and that's awesome. And I'm interested to see a post-Endgame Thor.
Hulk movies are out.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. There's going to be a She-Hulk show, but we never got a proper Hulk movie.
Yeah, it's a rights issue.
The old one does
surprisingly enough. I think like Universal still owns the rights for a solo Hulk movie, which is mind-boggling.
If they wanted it, they could get it.
You're 100% correct.
They can work out Spider-Man. I mean, that was Sony's crown jewel. Universal does not have a lot going on when it comes to superhero movies, unfortunately.
Yeah. What do you got next?
This actually says the Fantastic Beasts here.
Oh, weird. I wonder if
that date may have moved. July 15th is what the Rotten Tomatoes is saying, but
I see.
I'm not sure which one's correct. Jordan Peele's Nope is also July 22nd.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows much about this. I think all that there is like a some sort of poster of some sort, and obviously like the cast, but I don't know what the plot.
Yeah, we're starting to get into more gray territory with these movies.
Right. It's yeah. Yeah, you're right. What you got next, Luke? I lost my list, so.
I was just looking at Nope.
Nope.
Interesting. Black Adam, they're saying, is July 29th.
All right, so that's the first big Batman, and then there's this. Yeah, sorry, no.
Dwayne Johnson has been attached to star in Black Adam since at least as early as 2014.
Yeah,
he's finally going to get his chance. So, just so everyone knows, this is a Shazam tie-in kind of deal. So, at some point, these universes will probably collide. I'm assuming that he'll probably be disconnected from the Shazam world in this movie. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Imagine.
But I would assume he would be. And then probably Black Adam 2 or Shazam 3 or I don't know, maybe the upcoming Shazam sequel.
I think you're correct. The thing is that they really have to hurry up with those Shazam movies. I mean, like the second one's probably filmed, I'd imagine, but like those kids are getting old, man. Like you can't do the I'm a kid, but I'm in an adult body or whatever. You can't do that if the kid's like 18. So I'm sorry. So you gotta hurry. There's only so long you can do it with the same cast.
Yep. And it's always the worst when you have to recast.
It is. It's like, oh man, you don't want to see that happening. Okay, I got my list back. Where are we at? I don't see, like, we're at the point here where I'm not seeing as many.
There's not a lot in
big ones here. Yeah, in August
and September.
Right. There's a movie I did not know was even a thing. Was Salem's Lot remake, which is a Stephen King movie. I didn't even know they were going to do that. It's a vampire
not
story.
Even on my list.
Speaking of vampires, maybe they're coming back. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah. What? That's weird. They're saying I would avoid purchasing admission to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish in Salem's Lot during September 26th. What?
I see that. Why did they say that?
I don't know why they said that.
I didn't even know Puss in Boots 2 was a thing. So
yeah, I thought the Puss in Boots whole thing was done, but
I thought the whole Shrek universe was done.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry. we're taking in so much at once. We're finding out that Puss in Boots 2 exists, and yet a website's telling us for some reason not to purchase Puss in Boots 2 tickets in September.
The next real one that I know people are going to be excited about is the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Part 1.
Right.
So I think there may be a second part to it.
I think that's a pretty decent assumption, but
I should probably watch the first movie.
You need to do that, Luke. Yeah, go. Yeah, you need to do that. That's one to watch, man. I mean, even if Like you're like, yeah, it's animated and it's not. I think you'll still like it on some level. I think like regardless of all that, there's enough there that
A lot of people do.
It's great. Yeah, this breaks down a lot of barriers. I think when it comes to it's like there's Spider-Man movies that exist, but we also get to do this like animated Spider movie, and it goes to theaters and people love it. That's pretty crazy. That's a thing. Halloween Ends.
What was the last one?
Halloween Kills.
Oh, I thought the last one was Halloween Ends.
No, it's ending now. It's ending this time.
There's absolutely no way it's ending.
Yeah, I didn't see.
I believe that for a second.
Yeah, right. Maybe now, but
Halloween re-ends. Halloween ends and ends again.
Look, we're doing it. We're for real. Where are we at in our dates? October, of course. Halloween.
Yeah.
Sorry. Big ones.
Flash is the next one.
Flash, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Michael Keaton. Huh.
Yeah, man. Michael Keaton. Batman. Like, no, seriously. He's Batman in this. He's going to be Batman.
Oh, boy. We got another
multiverse
type deal going on here.
We got the multiverse. It's the multiverse, Luke.
Where's
didn't even
Ben Affleck? That's what I ask. Where is George Clooney?
Oh yeah, maybe who knows? Maybe he'll show up. Who knows? Maybe Grant Gustin from the television show will show up.
Put them all in.
Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther movie. This movie is one of those that I'm just kind of surprised.
I'm gonna go with this movie's gonna be pushed to next year.
I'm gonna go there with you, Luke, because
they keep getting shut down. There's no way they're gonna finish.
Right, and it's like at a certain point, it's like, oh man, I don't know, man. It's just.
It's a weird thing. Like not having Chadwick Boseman is a weird thing to even be like trying to do these movies too, for me. I mean, Black Panther was obviously a great movie. I wish we'd gotten the sequel to it a long time ago, but at this point, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We lost our boy, unfortunately. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Right. I feel like there's a lot more trepidation for this than there are people who are like, yay. You know what I mean? I feel like I've heard more people being like, guys, maybe we just shouldn't. But I don't know.
I will definitely be interested to see how they handle that. Because, how much can you do with digital technology and that deal? I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
I guess the focus will be more on his family, his sister, his wife. They got married, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, at some point we'll get some story, something, and maybe some media kind of pointing to what to expect. But right now, I'm just like, I don't know what to expect for this thing. I don't know what you got, man, but on the 16th, that looks like a big day. December 16th. From what I'm seeing.
Yep, real big day, huh?
There's no way that's going to stand, is it?
Freaking Aquaman.
Well, no, not just Aquaman.
What I'm talking about. I know Avatar too, but freaking Aquaman.
I just couldn't imagine those two coming out on the same day, but
yeah. Probably not.
Both apparently with heavy underwater.
I just hope Aquaman never comes out.
I'm sorry, Luke. It's coming for you. It's coming for you.
It's
unless
it's probably my most hated movie series that's currently going on.
Wow, really?
I think it's an absolute piece of garbage.
So it took the cake from
the worst movie ever. I would rather watch Venom.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well,
at least Venom has a good actor in it.
Hey, William Dafoe was in Aquaman.
I know, and that's what makes it that bad. It defames his name. I did not know Vin Diesel was in Avatar 2. That's nuts.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Huh.
Kate Winslet?
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. James Cameron and Kate Winslet together again.
I think my biggest question is Avatar 2 going to be something you and I like? You know?
I don't know. It's like
I don't think so, but if it
you don't,
is,
why
they're
don't
gonna
you think
pull some-
so?
well, I don't think you and I liked the first Avatar.
I like the first one fine.
That is not what you've said in the past. You've said, that movie was not great, but I understand what the appeal was.
Well, I don't know. Watching it.
Okay, I don't like that movie.
Yeah,
I thought that movie was boring.
I get that, and definitely watching it a second time. That's my biggest problem when I watch it like on repeat viewings. I'm like, ooh, I'm bored. But there's good parts, but it's okay. I hope this will. I feel like there's something to be done. I feel like, seeing Avatar and seeing like what they do visually and the world and kind of all that stuff. I feel like there's definitely like, there could be a very good sequel to it. And so I don't know, man. I just don't know. I
think the only reason they bring this movie out is because Avatar made so much money. But
I mean, yes,
my question is, why in the world have you waited this long? It's 2007, right? Am I remembering right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Why in the world have you waited so long? It blows my mind. Like, if you're looking for a money grab, why wouldn't you have that movie come out in 2010, 2011? I guess James Cameron was just like standing in the way, holding back the floodgates of like pressure.
I don't know.
Bring the sequel out because he's like, no, it has to be done right. Which I'll argue none of this Avatar garbage has been done right. But that's just my personal opinion. I understand some people like it.
Yeah, the spirit of Yahweh is not pleased with you.
That's
it's
totally
not
fine.
Yahweh. It's Awa. Sorry. Yahweh is the one we believe in.
God.
But yeah, the thing is, the worst part about Avatar 2 for me is that I have knowledge that there's an Avatar 3, 4, and 5 is the worst thing about Avatar 2 for me. If I only knew about Avatar 2, I'd probably be like, I'm really interested in this. But the fact that it's been pushed for so long, but there's also a bunch of them afterwards, I don't know. Now, I don't even know if that's still the plan, if there's still a 3, 4. It's either 3, 4, or 3, 4, and 5. I know there's more than 3 of these freaking things, but all right. That's the movies, man. I think the video game list is going to go much shorter, so because we're not going to list every single one, there's going to be like 1 or 2 per month, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left here.
Yeah, I mean, we're here in January, and there's 2 things coming out at the end of this month, and that's Pokemon Legends Arceus and the Uncharted PS5.
Oh, games. Sorry, I'm switching. Mario movie. That was the only other one I was going to mention.
Oh, that's this year?
Yeah.
Shoot.
You're
right. You're right.
Here.
I think it is
right
supposed
at the
to
end
be
of the
this
year
year.
there. So
okay,
exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on, Mario. Let's go.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll pick up Pokemon probably. I imagine. I always seem to, don't I? So
you do.
We'll see how that goes. It's a new age maybe for Pokemon, so I'll talk about it probably a little bit next week when I play a little bit of it over the weekend. But it's like an open world kind of thing. I don't know what it's gonna be like. I'm gonna be honest. What are you looking at in February, Luke?
I am looking through the list right now. Dying Light 2. I mean, I'm interested. I've heard good things, and it seems like something I could enjoy. It sounds like they've really taken what they did in Dying Light and taken it to 11. So
right,
yeah,
this
I'll
is
be
kind of
interested to look into
the.
that.
I'm a little bit more aware of Dying Light 2 for sure, but it's almost like it's the Minions Rise of Gru of this list, because I'm like, wow, that thing is still coming out. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty great from just looking at it. I mean, Dying Light 1, the worst part about Dying Light 1 was just how awful I was at it. I was so bad at Dying Light 1.
Yeah,
always falling, getting my.
I never got to play it, but seemed like fun.
Yeah,
is it open world?
Yeah, it's open world. It's scary. I don't know, man. When the sun starts to go down, I get scared because like they do a really cool thing. Just visually, it's really dark. Like when it starts to go down, like the color grading's really good, and you start hearing because like the more aggressive monsters come out at night or more aggressive zombies, and you start hearing them. You start hearing, yeah, and I'm just like, gotta get back, gotta get back, gotta get back.
Yeah.
Scares me. I don't like it.
Crossfire X is one that's been coming out for a while, and that's an Xbox exclusive. So
Crossfire.
yeah, that seems like something I might be into.
Let's see here. Crossfire. We talked a little bit about this in the past, haven't we? Did there like
It's the one with the little silver balls. You like shoot them across from
Stop
each
it.
other.
and the futuristic and a kid comes flying in? Yeah, let's play.
I remember those freaking commercials for that Crossfire
You'll
game.
get
This is
caught
so
up
cool.
in the crossfire.
And then you actually look at it, it's like, why was this fun? This is so stupid. Shooting marbles at each other.
Yeah, you had to frame it in some cool, edgy way, or else
Yeah.
no one was gonna pick it up.
Cue the slashing guitar.
Yeah. Horizon Forbidden West is a big one for
Right.
me. I'm
yeah.
a fan of that first one, so definitely
Definitely one of the big
big one
games
for
of the
me.
year.
Yeah, definitely a big one for PlayStation. That
Yeah.
it's one of their big. It's becoming one of their bigger franchises. So it's like something they've been seemingly pouring a lot of attention into it. I feel like Guerrilla, I don't know how they make their games look so good. It's one of those things where even playing Horizon, like the first one, I'm like, why does this game look so good? It's
Mm-hmm.
so old, but looks great.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Yeah. One's been coming for a while.
Right. So, what do you think? Where are you at with Elden Ring, Luke?
I mean, I feel like the more I learn about it, the more it's like a Dark Souls, right?
Right.
And so it's like I thought it looked cool from the trailers, but then it's like, okay, so this is another grind fest, and that's just never been
Right.
my thing. So we've talked about it. I hate all these games where you feel like you're stuck in mud. And,
Yeah.
this may not be that, but it seems like the kind of game that I would like. I think of what Obsidian's project, Avowed, that's coming
Avowed,
out. It looks like it could be in that same vein, but it's a FromSoft game, so it's gonna be stuck in mud. It's just, it's gonna be, you have the 400-pound sword, and you can only move at half a mile per hour, and
The enemies move at the speed of
know.
light.
even though they weigh 15,000 pounds,
Right.
they're 86 feet tall.
You're trying to walk, and here comes this big Goliath.
I think they're the kind of games that look cool to me, but actually playing,
Right.
just not my kind of play style. So I'm excited to watch other people play it and see how it is. And, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it is something I enjoy. From Software, it's like every game they come out with, I admire it and I think it's cool, but it just time and time again, it just doesn't end up being my thing.
Yeah, it's like I try. Like I
Admirer of their stuff.
right, admire from afar. I've heard up and down how amazing Bloodborne is, and I've downloaded it, installed it twice, and I've uninstalled it twice just because I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it. I can't.
Did you play that? What is that? Eastern version of Bloodborne that came out?
Sekiro.
Yeah, Sekiro. Yeah,
Nope, haven't played it.
Sekiro. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably the same kind of deal.
I'd imagine, but who knows?
Good game, stuck in mud.
Good game. You're stuck in mud. I want to be stuck in mud, man. So we got a couple here for March. Let's see. Babylon's Fall. I have kind of like a passing interest in it because that's the same studio that did Nier Automata. And so I'm a huge fan of that game, but it's still wait and see. I mean, the world and atmosphere are big parts in that. And if you take that away and just have the gameplay, it's like, okay. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what it is, but I'm kind of just waiting and seeing about it. Anything
Definitely.
sticking out in March for you?
Tunic. I definitely
Tunic,
just been
yeah.
very interested in Tunic. This is a single, a studio that's just one dude who made this game over many, many years, and I think it's going to be a stylistic just masterpiece. Just from what I've seen, obviously it hasn't come out yet, but I think it's going to be the most beautiful, like stylized game
Mm-hmm.
ever. In the vein of Zelda, and it may not be a game that I enjoy, but I'm definitely excited just to see it come out, and just kind of a Cuphead kind of deal. Indie studio bringing out just a really cool original,
Gorgeous looking.
original-ish game,
Mm-hmm.
original property, based off gameplay from Zelda. But I think it's something that you might be interested in.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I've been looking
I'm
at it
excited
for a
to
while.
see how you enjoy it.
Couple Square Enix games coming out that month. First there's a Triangle Strategy, which you've probably seen Octopath Traveler kind of floating around. This is that same studio with that same art style. Octopath was kind of like their take on old school Final Fantasy / Dragon Quest. It started as a Switch exclusive, then it made its way to PC and Xbox. It's actually Octopath is actually on Game Pass. But this is kind of their take on the strategic RPG, kind of more similar to Fire Emblem, which is what this looks like. Amber really likes Octopath Traveler. I like it. I just haven't really sank my time into it yet, but I don't know about this. I don't know about, because I'm not I like the latest Fire Emblem, but I don't know how I feel about Triangle Strategy just yet. So it'll start on Switch. It'll probably eventually go to other consoles as well, just like Octopath did.
Right.
Gran Turismo 7's a big one, but not for this man. Not for this man at all. And also another big Square one is Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. It's gonna be probably one of their bigger ones this year, I'd imagine. It's a strange one. I don't know if it's for me, because it's like similar to Dark Souls a little bit where it comes to what we're talking about. I played a little bit of it, and I definitely better with this than I am with like Bloodborne, for sure, 100%. So I don't know yet, but it's a retelling, like a really strange retelling of the first Final Fantasy game in this kind of Bloodborne style. It's an experiment for them, which is interesting, and I applaud that, but it's so weird. I mean, there's a clip that I was obsessed with for a while about this game. I'm sorry to take up time talking about this, but there's a clip where like someone's talking to the main character, like talking about, I don't know, the inevitability of evil taking over, some heavy, weighty like thing, and then the main character like looks at her and is like, bullshit, and puts in earbuds, and like some Limp Bizkit sounding band starts playing, and he walks away. Incredible. I don't know.
That's great.
We'll move on to April. Not much. I don't have much here on this list. All I have here is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Yeah. Yeah. This list is getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah, it's weird how movies are sometimes. Like with movies, it's like, yeah, you get that release date so quickly, but with games, it can be really strange. They can withhold that release date.
There's really not a lot left for the year, honestly.
Right.
This. I feel like we're still probably waiting on some announcements, and
exactly
with E3 going away. I guess we'll see when those announcements come.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Star Wars. The Lego games are games that I buy when they're like years and years old, and they're like $5. That's my time to shine.
I feel like they're the kind of things that I'll play with my son in the future.
I think you're right. They're like perfect.
I've gotten more and more away from them, but they're fun little adventures.
Right, you're completely right. They're perfect for like playing with a kid because like they're easy enough, but they're also like simple problem solving. You can kind of implement,
and they're still fun.
Yeah, and they're fun.
And it's
and they're
about
cute.
the stuff that you like. So
right, and there's just cool things like, for instance, playing Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, like playing as the Guardians and like just doing like, it's fun seeing all the Easter eggs in the story, and then like funny thing, you like press a button and like Star-Lord puts on his earphones and he like starts dancing to come and get your love. It's just it's cool. It's cool. In May, Vampire the Masquerade, I think, is something some people are looking forward to, right? That's kind of a semi-big one. Forspoken, it's a big PS5 Square Enix thing.
That's the open world one I think we were talking about. That we were like, this seems cool, but slightly empty.
Right. I want to see more of what the moment-to-moment gameplay looks like for this one. It seems like one that maybe they should leave on the cooker for a little bit longer and like try to just do a little bit more with the world, but I don't know. That's just from the trailer. Right. That's why I say I kind of want to see like an elongated demo, not just like the character like dashing around and blasting an enemy, which it looks really cool. It looks great, but I do want to see what the game is. I know it's an open world, but what is the function of the open world? You only get
one chance at this reveal or this, release, right? So it's like, take your time,
make it a good one.
Don't cyberpunk this thing.
Yeah, just chill. Saints Row,
yeah.
What do you think about the Saints Row franchise in general?
Never really been, interested enough to play them, but I might like them. I honestly just haven't spent enough time with them. I've never given Saints Row a chance. I think they came off so goofy to me that it just didn't seem like my thing. I felt like it was like, if I want to play this, I could just jump into GTA, and it's probably a game that's, has more money behind it, and I'm probably going to enjoy it more. That's always like where I've defaulted to when I think Saints Row.
Right.
But I haven't given it enough of a chance, so that's kind of an uneducated opinion.
Funny thing is, I'm like currently trying to give it a chance because like they had the fourth one on sale for like $2, I swear, on the Switch, and
$2.
Yeah, it was on sale for like $2 something, and I was like, okay. Goodness. And they had
that's crazy.
GameStop had the Saints Row 3 remastered, which I guess is also like Series X and PS5 graded as well for like $5, and I was like, let's try this out.
Jeez.
It's all right, it's okay, it's all right, it's kind of what you said, it's goofy, but the funny thing is like that Saints Row 4 on the Switch, like it's a much more advanced kind of game. It's a better port than GTA the definitive edition, which is crazy. I'm like, well, I wanted my open world game. I guess I got to go to Saints Row 4 for the freaking Switch, which is like crazy. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You're a rock star. Anyways,
nightmare.
Nightmare. It is what you say. It is very silly, and there's the rules are very limited, and you don't feel like you are in as much of a living and breathing world as you are a sandbox, whereas like GTA, you do kind of feel like more and more in these, like GTA 5, you're like, yeah, I do feel like these people are doing things, and I am kind of walking around a kind of a real-ish city, but not so much. It is a parody of GTA anyways, but for what it is, it's fun. I don't really weird, I guess, that they're just redoing it. I guess I don't know if this is a Saints Row, we're remaking Saints Row, or Saints Row God of War Scream kind of scenario.
I'm looking down at the Game Informer list, and it's insane the number of games that like they still just don't have a release date.
Right, we don't have like anything for like
so
September, November, but like a few big ones, right?
Yeah, there's nothing in October. Xbox games for the rest of this list,
right? We have.
Yeah, I would say I'm very much looking forward to these last two. Obviously more for Starfield, which is just going to be it could easily be the game of the year. It's just we'll see how the Legend of Zelda is. I think that's going to be the big competition. Or
I think the
Ragnarok coming
proper
out this
question is, we'll see if the Legend of Zelda is this year. So
you think so?
the eternal question. It's always got to question it with Zelda.
Have they announced that it'll come this year yet? Or they
They're
haven't even
saying
said?
this year.
Okay.
Ragnarok, they're saying this year too. But again, it's like that to be announced list. That's so long.
I think it'll be a
the
3-way
end.
race though between those three if they do all come out this year.
I'd imagine so. Always would love to see, some sleeper hit come along and be like, oh my gosh.
For sure.
But
yeah. But the more like I hear about Stalker 2, the more it's like I definitely want to play this. It seems like this game has had a big budget and it looks like it's going to be a very pretty game, and that alone makes me want to, play it. Obviously it's a shooter, so I'm always looking for the next shooter, but it just seems like they've spent a lot of time with this. There's so many of these games like this where it's like I don't know anything about Stalker, but this one doesn't seem like one that's just been rushed out, just another sequel to something. This seems like something that they have spent some more time with. So for that reason,
it looks really
check it out.
polished.
Yeah.
I guess at this point we're really just kind of looking at that to be announced list, a big long list of games that don't have any dates other than supposedly
Ghostwire
this
Tokyo
year.
needs to come out, man. That game. They've been talking about that game for years.
Can kick down the road, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play that one, but I'm definitely excited to be able to watch it
when its exclusivity deal ends and it goes to Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean eventually, but
yeah,
it could be a while.
Might have to wait maybe a year or so. Yeah, I mean just Nate, call them out as you see them on this list of games that are coming out this year. Bayonetta 3 is coming out on Switch. That's a series that I'm just now getting into. I'm just like, okay, let's do it. Why wouldn't I like these games? Right? These are games that there's no reason Jordan wouldn't like them. So I have Bayonetta 1 on lock on the PlayStation, and I'll eventually, because Bayonetta is weird how it was like, oh my gosh, it's on PlayStation and Xbox, but now it's a Switch exclusive. It's so strange. I mean, I guess they foot the bill for it, and they're like, okay, Platinum, we're the only ones who want you to make these. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever works, I guess.
It's a kind of an unlikely alliance, honestly, because Bayonetta, I don't know. Bayonetta's in Smash. It's funny.
It's crazy.
With their sexy monster hair.
Yeah. Bright Memory Infinite. I definitely want to play that.
Ooh, yeah. That game looks amazing.
Looks like a really fast-paced, fun time.
And it's, again, another one made by an extremely small team, isn't it? From what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So, something that's on my list, I mean, early this year, at some point this first quarter, Cyberpunk's supposed to be having its next-gen ports for Xbox. And
believe it when I see it.
Yeah?
I don't believe anything anymore with Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2.
I mean,
this year.
I really enjoy that game. It's just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I hope as soon as I got it right there, it's waiting for me. Then it's wrapping. I'm ready.
You have the disc.
I have the disc. It was like $10. All right. So yeah, God of War Ragnarok. You have to have a release date, but coming this year. I doubt that one will slip. I think it'll come. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll slipped from holiday of 2021. So yeah,
probably.
We also have here Gotham Knights.
Yeah. We'll see.
That's what I said.
You will see. See how that is.
Hogwarts Legacy. I have some serious doubt that game's coming out this year. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to come this year. I don't know.
Which one was that one?
That's the one, the Harry Potter one, without Harry Potter, where you're a kid in Hogwarts, time to go to school, and you're probably going to solve a mystery
bully
or rewrite history.
Rockstar.
Yeah, that's what
Rockstar version of Bully.
It's really what I've wanted, you know. It's like
Yeah.
another Bully.
It's a cool idea for a game.
It really is, and to
I
have
just
this
wish it was
school-
made by Rockstar because
right.
a new now generation version of Bully, I can totally get behind that. That would be
I
awesome.
love it. There was a lot of stories floating around about how they were like this close to just doing a Bully too, but it's-
Do
didn't happen.
something, Rockstar. You're not coming out with anything.
Thank you. Do
Like, come
something
on.
except
anything.
other than like ruining your classic
with
GTA games.
Ping pong too.
Oh, yeah.
Table tennis too.
Forgot
Whatever
about
that game's called.
Hey, I'll take it.
Apparently
at
that
this
game
point.
was great too.
Oh my gosh. What else we got here, man?
I'm looking through the list. I haven't come up with anything that I'm interested in.
Yeah, I mean it's here and there.
And there's a lot of stuff here. Just
there's a lot of stuff.
there's
It's
just so many games that come out. in
so
a year.
much. It's like there's a lot of PC stuff that I'm not really.
Redfall, that was one I'd forgotten about.
Redfall. That's the who made that one? Is that a Bethesda one?
I'm trying to look it up because I'm blanking. Arcane.
Arcane. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So it's the
Bethesda smaller studio.
yeah. It's kind of like humans versus vampires kind of situation.
Yeah.
They're making that Mario Rabbids sequel, which it's like the first one's a surprisingly good game. But
Yeah.
a game that has no business being good, but it is. Oh my gosh, another one where I'm like, holy crap, I forgot about this one. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. You remember that one?
The game's never coming out.
I guess not. I mean, it was like the trailer came out and everyone was like,
Yeah.
doesn't look
What?
good, does it? Why even do it if it's gonna look like this?
Yeah, it's like that doesn't look very polished. And also, what?
Yeah, did they pull
Are you doing this?
did they just like melt
That's gonna
it
go
back
the
to
way
its
of
base
Skull and
elements?
Bones, I believe.
Ooh, Skull and Bones. Is that even on this list?
It is.
Oh, it
At least
is?
yeah, it's on this one I'm looking at, but I don't know.
We'll see.
Believe it when I see it.
Right. They haven't made any promises maybe towards this year. Who knows?
Suicide Kill the Justice League, I would say, would be one that I'm like, okay,
Right.
that could be something I could enjoy.
Yeah, it's Rocksteady doing it, and so there's no reason for me to believe that it won't be good. And yeah,
I mean, they have quite a history of making great games, so
it's
and especially games I enjoy.
it's like Avengers. They like put it in me to be nervous for a game that has multiple superheroes or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, it put it in me too. So like I was relieved honestly when I found out with Guardians that you'd only play as Peter Quill. And so I don't know. I'm sure Rocksteady can pull it off just fine. It's a different beast. It's not an online game, so there's no reason. It's 4 characters. It should be fine. God, I was just looking at one and I lost it. Sonic
Lord of the Rings Gollum?
Oh,
Sorry.
this. No. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings Gollum. I don't know. It's not something I want to see really for a Lord of the Rings
I have
game,
enjoyed a lot
personally.
of the Lord of the Rings, but it certainly does not seem like the kind of game I want to be made.
Yeah, it's like a
but
stealth Gollum
I
game.
do love Lord of the Rings games. It's just such a
Right.
cool world for a game. The old Lord
Right.
of the Rings games I thought were absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And I would just like those remade for the current gen. Like show the giant battles straight from the movies and just allow me to like pick my character. Or I think in that game you could even like switch between characters like in the battle. Just so cool.
Do you think that this is a can of worms that we may have to discuss in its own episode, that the gaming industry has overcorrected and where
Yeah.
there used to be a
Yeah.
bunch of crappy movie
I would
games.
definitely say so. Yeah.
Now there's 0. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's weird.
And
you
there's
know?
so many cool properties that just go by that it's like, a game based off that idea could do really well.
Right. It's like they've said only Lego can do them for whatever reason.
You have to have a studio that really wants to put the time in and like make a quality game. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is a good example. Like, it took a studio like taking their own time and bringing it out when they want it to bring out a game that, universally enjoyed. But it's absolutely nothing to do with the movie and completely detached from any movie releases that have anything to do with that. So interesting how that worked.
I think maybe what you could do is like maybe don't focus on like, because I think a big problem was it's like, okay, we're gonna have a movie tie-in game and it's gonna come out like the same month the movie comes out. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe like be like, oh, it would be cool to have a Lord of the Rings game. Just do a Lord of the Rings game. Or would it be cool to have a Back to the Future game? Just do it. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a Telltale series.
Exactly.
Sonic Frontiers. I mean, this is for Sonic fans, I think this is a really, really big one because like they had this big thing where they're like, okay, we're gonna take a step back from the Sonic franchise, and instead of trying to release them so quickly, like try to redefine the series in a way and try to take our time with it. And so we'll see. I mean, I don't know, man. Like we talked about like how if they were like, hey, Jordan, make a Matrix sequel, I wouldn't really know what to do. It would be like, hey, Jordan, reinvent the Sonic gameplay. I'd be like, I don't really know. He's hard.
Especially since that's already been done in other sequels for Star Wars. What am I talking about? Sonic. Star Wars on the mind.
Yeah, I mean, I just...
Sonic Adventure. Just remake that for modern gen.
Yeah, maybe like just really make it refined is like one of the biggest problems with Sonic games. It's just like there's kind of
make it a 2.5D game.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm either way. I'm interested in it. I'm looking forward to see what they come up with.
Make it a dungeon crawler.
A dungeon.
That could actually be kind of cool.
Make it
that could be kind of cool.
Our strategy RPG.
2.5D dungeon crawling Sonic. Not in dungeons, just in worlds.
Make it a Dark Souls. Maybe From Software can make a Sonic game. Oh gosh.
He has to power up and it takes forever to power up.
Why is Sonic so slow?
Oh.
You just see him roll to try to gain momentum. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, guys. I'm getting there.
Yeah, match made in hell. All right. Oh, this one looks good. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is a fun one, I think. It's just like a beat 'em up, right? And like kind of the stylings of the 80s Turtles, and with kind of like that 16-bit, but obviously not 16-bit because it looks too good to be 16-bit kind of pixel art, I guess. Looks great.
Sprites that aren't sprites.
Sprites that aren't sprites, all right? Then, of course, we did mention Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but, we'll see. I mean, we haven't gotten a trailer since last E3, and, yeah, well, when they drop that
it's
date,
obviously, it's going to be great. I mean, I don't even have to wonder.
Yeah, I don't have much concern about the quality of the game. It was the right thing to do to make a sequel to that game. They don't do it very often, but it was the right thing to do. I don't have anything else on this list that bears mentioning for me, at least. I mean, I'm sure other people will scream about something.
I wonder if there's any more announcements that are coming.
I think totally.
And I wonder if any of them are going to come out this year. I would guess not, but I feel like we have some big games that are probably coming, like announcements at least.
Yeah, I think 100% there's going to be something. I mean, there's usually games that are announced early in the year and released in the summer, and maybe like in the summer and then in the fall. They're not going to be the giant Starfields or Zeldas, but
yeah, it's probably like a 4-game year, right? I mean, of the tentpole games, like
right.
There's probably 4 games.
Yeah, because I know, like, for instance, I didn't mention this game. I'm surprised it wasn't on the list. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands coming out in March. That's a big one. Nintendo will do that. Like, that game was only announced like a couple months ago, and that's a pretty big one for Nintendo's slate. And so they'll do that. They'll do that sort of thing to be like, hey, this game is real and it's coming out in 4 months, and they'll do that. And I think like a lot of other studios can do that too. Like Ubisoft will do that. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, and it's not that freaking far away, and you're gonna see some new. There's just certain studios that will never do that. You're never gonna get that from CD Projekt. You're never gonna get that from freaking Rockstar. Unless it's a horrible GTA port, then you'll get that. Hey, it's coming out in 2 months and it's gonna be abysmal.
Oh yeah. I want to hear some more announcements from Xbox. Honestly, there's a lot of studios that they've purchased, and they've had some time.
The chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah, I want to see what they're working on, even if it's not soon. I want to see some more updates, and I want to see some more trailers from some of these games that we've just gotten, just teasery things like Avowed. That's the one. That's one. If there's a list of five of Luke's most anticipated games, that's right up there.
It's interesting how Xbox seems to announce things like, they have events, like obviously they're kind of like the kings of E3 at this point, because everyone else doesn't seem to want to be involved.
I don't think there is an E3. So
there isn't this, and so I'm interested to see what they'll do, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's obviously not beneath them to just drop a giant announcement on Twitter. It's just obviously, hey guys, by the way, we're buying one of the biggest video game companies that exists. By the way, and so who knows? I'm interested though. I'm sure they'll have some sort of digital broadcast that kind of takes the place of their E3 presentation. I'd imagine. They are not
for sure.
Yeah, they're not going to want to just not have one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm sure Sony. I mean, Sony is like, it's hard to predict when they announce anything, because like they skipped E3 and they didn't have their state of play for like months after, and that's like frustratingly hard to predict. And Nintendo's not. They usually have their directs the same amount of time of the year. So I'm sure during those things we'll get announcements of things that will come out in like the next few months. They're probably just not going to be giant things, but starting to lay the foundation for 2023.
Crazy.
If we live that long. But yeah. Cool. Fun times, Luke. Extra long episode for you guys of us listing things that are coming out this year.
Hope you're excited for the coming year.
Absolutely. And next week we'll come back and we'll talk about Marry Me. I don't know. Are we doing a spoiler cast for that one?
You can.
Hey guys, it's me, Jordan. We're here to discuss the latest J-Lo and Owen Wilson flick, Marry Me. So for the non-spoiler section,
spoiler alert. Okay, guys, they got married.
Yeah, believe it or not, you may. Okay, all right. It's been fun, Luke. I'll see you next week.
See you.